Alright, we're back. Episode 3 of Scarlet Hollow. It's been a minute. Trying to remember what all happened, but I think we ended in these two girls got lost in the cave and the librarian's daughter basically got PTSD. You know, whatever. And then we're gonna go ghost hunting. Yeah, we're gonna continue with this world state. And we don't give you I gave you the recap. Sunshine filters in through the dusty windows of the estate as the dull aches of last night's activities throb in and out of focus. You manage to survive a second night in the town of Scarlet Hollow. As you pull yourself out of bed, you can feel the soot and grime of the Shaw mine still stuck to your skin. Stink mode. You decide not to shower. I'm a dirty goblin, and I'm never showering again. Time to start my day. Oh, 2. Let's see, I'm going to try to pet them. Against your better judgment, you reach to pet possums, hands outstretched. Oh, it was worth a shot. You now leave your dress and return to nature where they belong. I mean, I don't know what this is supposed to convey. It was worth a shot? Did they just fall asleep? I knocked them the fuck out. My friend in the window, you hold your breath as you approach the bedroom window. After finding that boot print and viscera in the garden yesterday, you can't help but anticipate something staring back at you. It's the same view. Okay. Doll still in the closet? Yep. Every time you see the doll, your heart skips a beat. It hasn't moved, right? Nope, it hasn't. Well, I wonder if it will. That's enough of this closet. Turn back to the guest room. Yeah, I'm going downstairs. Time to start my day. What consequences will there be for me stinking? As you enter the kitchen, you find your cousin in the midst of devouring a pint of banana chocolate chunk. She isn't alone. Frou-Frou glares at you from her usual spot on the counter as a red-headed woman busies herself trying to tidy as best she can. Tabitha's eyes dart to the corner of the room, almost as if she's ashamed of being caught in the act of stress eating ice cream for breakfast. Hey Tabitha, how's it going? My men have been working around the clock to dig 2 teenagers out of my mines, so I'm a little stressed. Yeah, whatever. Tabitha takes one last spoonful of ice cream, then discards the empty container, turning to you with her trademark scowl. Let's get going. I've got an errand to run in town, and every time I've left you here alone, something terrible has wound up happening, so you're coming with me. Yay, cousin bonding time! That's what gets you to come along? Sure, whatever. Cousin bonding time. Janie, lock up when you leave, please. Don't go rearranging anything. I'll know. As you're ready to leave, Janie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the two of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Oh, Jay, before you go, I heard about what happened last night. I mean, I heard about it from Miss Tabitha. I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now, and then I heard it again. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry you got caught up in that. I'll be praying for those poor kids. I can't imagine how scared they must be. Last night was an unavoidable tragedy, but I'm afraid there's more to come. Oh dear, that sounds just dreadful. Have you considered stopping by the church at some point this week? My husband's the pastor, and he's been going absolutely stir-crazy since we moved here, what with nobody really attending sermons. It'd probably do him a lot of good for you to talk through your worries. You know, maybe we just need a little God in here. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, take your time, of course. You're here all week after all. Just know that you can stop by the church anytime. The door is always open. Might be the best alternative at some point. Do you know anything about a guy named Wayne? I'm going to stop the two of you right there. Jay, I'm busy and not in the mood to stand around waiting while you play Nancy Drew with my cleaning lady right in front of me. We're leaving. Bye, Janie. Alrighty then. Be safe out there, you two. Tabitha practically drags you from the estate, one hand clasped firmly around your arm. She continues to drag you all the way into her car, and from there into town. The ride to town is uneventful, your cousin unsurprisingly more focused on the road than on making conversation. Alright, we're just popping into the general store for a few minutes. What are we doing at the general store? Picking up tea from Sybil. Humanity? I don't know, the kind Sybil makes. She makes a bunch of weird stuff. I don't know what all of it is called. Quit interrogating me about the tea blends. Jeez. Shouldn't we be solving a mystery right now? A mystery? What mystery? The events of last night are pretty cut and dried. Like, come on. Is it more believable that the Shaw mine collapsed because of mysterious unseen forces? Or is it more believable that it collapsed because it was a condemned mine that was unsuitable for human beings? People like Stella turn to conspiracy theories and supernatural because they can't handle the truth. That our world is ruled by chaotic forces that don't follow any kind of logical pattern. Bad things can happen to good people, suddenly and for no reason. You can choose to accept that, or you can live in denial. You and Tabitha turn to the door as the general store bursts open. A flustered Kanika exits, shouting behind her. Fine, okay, keep coddling him. Keep letting him get away with the stuff you never would have let me think so much as think about. I'm sick of carrying this family. Kanika storms off, the door really slowly drifting shut behind her. Other people and their drama. If more people kept things to themselves, they'd be a lot happier. Out of curiosity, would you call yourself happy? Tabitha pulls back, surprised by her question. The lessons we learn from loss are often more powerful than those we learn from victory. I'm unhappy because I took not too long to learn life's difficult truths. Burning daylight. Come on already. The bells of the general store chime as you cross the threshold. The smell of old wood and steamy herbal tea flood your senses, making you feel instantly at home. Good morning, you two. Hope you're doing well after last night's activities. Morning. Is the new blend ready? Of course. Jay, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will just be a minute. Can I go with you? I like the tea room. I always like visitors in the tea room, but I'm afraid I'm too busy to entertain for long, so we won't be lingering. Might as well just wait out here. No need to cram in there like sardines. Sybil motions for Tabitha to follow, and they both disappear into the tea room, closing the door behind them with a tinkling of bells. I walk up to the door of the tea room to listen in. Subtle. I know it took a little longer than you'd hope, but this was fairly short notice. Sybil pauses, and moments later you hear footsteps move to the far end of the tea room. She and Tabitha resume their discussion, their voices hushed. You can only make out bits and pieces of what they're saying. Is there... Yes. Make sure this is all. Not inside. Outside then. Don't assume you know. I know what I'm... The listening session is halted by the tinkling of a bell, announces another patron. It's probably... Oh, it's Duke! Or in this case, another two patrons. It's a big boy. Well, if it ain't Jay. Bo, this is Miss Scarlet's cousin. He was there with Stella that night in the woods. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. My name is Bo. I'm Duke's boy. Hope you've been faring better since all that unpleasantness. How you been? You hanging in there? Oh, I can't complain. I miss old Birdie, but there's nothing I can do for her now, except protect the rest of my brood. Them things won't so much as step foot on my property. Not with Bo and me watching the perimeter with our shotguns at the ready. We even set the missus up with her pistol. Good thing we was watching. Nearly caught Julius trying to make off with Big Betty. As if he could have carried off nearly a 2,000-pound pumpkin on his own. I'd almost love to see him try. Not like we'd be taking her to a state fair anyway. Now all she's good for is making the world's largest pumpkin pie. I don't think Mama has a big tin big enough for a Big Betty-sized pie, Daddy. You know, things have gotten a little worse. I did hear whispers about what happened up in the mines last night. So sorry to hear about those young ladies. Scarlet Hollow ain't so safe this week, it would seem. Who's Julius? Julius Termaine. Practically spits the name. Some cousin however many times removed, though I don't claim him as kin. He owns the farm next to ours, except he doesn't seem to have a good grasp on whose property is whose. Thinks he owns half our land, always sneaking around taking vegetables we planted. Of course, the way he tells it, we're the ones stealing from him, saying he's the one putting seeds in the ground. He's a miserable old cuss, and he knows it too. Stealing vegetables born of other folks' hard labor is probably the only joy he has in life. Big Betty is a pumpkin? Sure is. Probably would have taken home at least a few ribbons at the state fair this year, maybe even a world record if we were lucky. Ah well, my hands were more important. We'll just have to grow an even bigger one next year, Daddy. Land's been good to us. We sure grown big out on the Callaway farm. Those things we saw on Monday are apparently called ditchlings. They're supposed to be a bad omen. Ditchlings? Sounds like some old folk tale. Suppose that suits him. As for being an omen, I believe that too. But I suppose there's not much to be done if they're forewarning some kind of disaster, besides looking out for me and mine. Still, I appreciate you telling me, Jay. Seen any of them around your farm? Yeah, we saw a few of them critters. They got scared off before I could start shooting. Nasty little buggers. They've been losing sleep making sure we can keep an eye on things. That's even rubbing off on the hens. None of the little ladies have been laying this week. You know, Daddy, I bet some big mastiff could keep them things away. Seems like just the kind of job for a guard dog. Now don't you start again, we ain't getting a dog. I got enough mouths to feed, and as much as you say you'll take responsibility, I know it'd be me cleaning up after it. Besides, I don't have much faith those things would be stopped by a dog. I saw more than a few in that nest. Hey, it's nice seeing you, Duke. It was a pleasure running into you, Jay, but we best get on with our shopping. Can't spend too long away from the farm with those little devils running around. Can't leave Mama all by herself up there for very long. You have a good one. Hope Scarlet Hollow treats you better from now on. It was nice meeting you, Jay. Please tell Miss Scarlet I'm sorry about her Mama. They shuffle off into the aisles. Tabitha and Sybil are still in the tea room. You have plenty of time before dinner at Reese's house. Cousin will probably be back any second. It's best to just stay put. You and Miles share an uncomfortably long moment of silence as Duke and Bo continue to shop. I'm not gonna play with this guy who's like on the gotcha cross. Come on, I don't want to talk to him. You shout into the tea room. Hey, hurry up in there! Just a moment, dear. We're almost done. Tabitha burst out of the tea room, tucking a pouch of herbs in her coat as she walks. She looks at you in surprise. Wow, you actually stayed. I kind of expected you to go running off the instant I left you alone. I mean, honestly, no one else in this town interests me. Why would I bother with them? Huh, we really are related. Got a couple hours to spare. I'll pick us up some sodas so we can get out of here. I don't like lingering, or just anyone could walk up and start talking to me. Tabitha leaves the store, motioning for you to follow. Tabitha stops in front of a small house on the quiet hill just off Main Street. The Scarlets own most of the houses out here. We rent them out to employees. Just more convenient, you know? Here I thought the estate was your secret lair. The estate is my non-secret lair. Everyone knows I live there. Nobody knows about this place, except now you, I guess. Now come on, let's make ourselves scarce before we're spotted. Your cousin pulls out a heavy set of keys from her pocket. She picks out one marked with a bright strip of green tape and unlocks the door. Come on in, don't worry, it's empty. You follow your cousin into the model home. We haven't rented this one out for years. I come here to get away from it all. Does that make sense? It's kind of like a vacation home, but I don't have to travel. Anyway, make yourself comfortable and have a soda. What kind of soda we got? Tabitha hands you a cream soda. Come on, where's my caffeine? Before settling on the couch. Keen eyes. The place is clean and tidy and full of all the trappings of life. You know it's an illusion. It may look like a place where a family lives and feels joy, but there's no soul here, only to the dream of one. Is the estate stifling to you? Is that why you come here? Tabitha sips her soda, her expression suddenly heavy. I guess the estate has a lot of history. This place is so new by comparison. It's like the estate is full of ghosts, pressing down on me all the time, pressuring me to do what they want. When I'm here, I can imagine a life where I don't have to think about the 200 years of history resting on my shoulders. I can imagine just living as a bank teller or something, having a simple life. Do you actually like running the mines? Of course not, but that doesn't really matter. I've had years of Perlan drilling that into my head. I can't trust anyone else to do my job, and if I don't do it, the entire town falls to ruin. It's my burden to bear. So I'd be lying if I said I haven't thought about running off. What if I moved here after everything's said and done? It could help her on the mines. I don't think you want to do that. Nobody should want to do that. This task is my burden, and I intend to keep it that way. Do you like living here? It's the only thing I know. You don't need to have lived somewhere else just to know if you like it here. I respectfully disagree. Everything in life requires context to properly understand. And I don't have a context here. Yeah, we'll let that one go. Let me try some of that tea you picked up. It smells nice. Nope, it's a sleepy time tea. You don't want to drink it in the middle of the day. Do you ever get to travel? I mean, I kind of answered that earlier, but no. Before I took over, Pearline was too busy to take me anywhere. Then when she retired and I became head of the company, I wound up in the same boat. It's not like anyone can fill in for you when you run everything. I'd like to go to the Outer Banks one day, but I guess that'll have to wait until I retire. If I ever do. Maybe when this week is over, we can go to the beach together. Yeah, maybe. I think I'd like that. What do you really think of me? You're better than asking me for validation, I'll say that much. Okay. What kind of things did Pearline tell you about me and my mom? All sorts of terrible things. She loved to talk about how destitute your mother was after leaving for Harland. You're always a poor student and troublemaker, constantly getting taken in by whatever terrible counterculture of the week was hip and trendy in the city. For what it's worth, I don't think any of it was true. Well, except for you being a troublemaker. I'm really glad I came up here. Tabitha pauses. You take a long, contemplative swig of her soda. Yeah. Can you tell me about any other family members? Wow, did Vivian really tell you nothing about us or her upbringing? Fine, I'll give you the brief history since she never bothered. Pearline and Vivian were raised by their grandmother because our grandmother died in childbirth. Our great-grandmother, Grandma Eddie, ran the mines before Pearline, then Pearline took over. And now here I am, following in their footsteps. The matriarchal mining company seems unusual. The past couple of generations were all women, that's just how the cards fell. And we'd never let some stranger jeopardize the company. It stays in the bloodline. What was Grandma Eddie like? Did you know her? Tabitha is quiet for a moment, her eyes distant. Kinda scary. Voice is quiet. She takes another sip of her cream soda. What was your dad like? Don't know. He just up and left one day. Didn't want anything to do with us anymore, I guess. They never got divorced, just separated. He probably couldn't be bothered to fill out any paperwork, especially considering he would lose any and all claim to the Scarlet Fortune if they divorced. And he'd have to pay child support for a kid he couldn't be bothered to call on her birthday. Hooray, another member of the Deadbeat Dads Club. Can't say I really care for this sad parent club joke you keep making, but whatever. Scarlet women are just too strong for most men. Our moms are better off without them, I'm sure. What was Pearl Ann like? Okay, I guess you should know at least some things about women whose funeral you'll be attending. She was my mother. She was your mom's young twin sister. Fraternal. They didn't look alike. Same with their personalities, night and day from what I've heard. Pearl Ann was a hard ass, but that comes with the territory. I mean, what else do you want to know? How did she die? Sleep apnea. Did you two get along? No, that woman was a monster. Supposed to have dinner at Reese's place. Do you know him? Reese? Oh yeah, the dude that used to hang out with Kanika and Stella. I kinda remember him. Quiet, smelled kinda weird. Stopped coming to school at one point. I guess he got sick or something. I know his mom better than I know him. She's been everyone's doctor for as long as I can remember. She's intimidating. I've always liked her. Guess that's not hereditary though. Reese always seemed like a bit of a wet blanket to me. I know I've already asked, but can you tell me what the deal is with you and Stella now that we're hanging out? Alright, fine. We were close in high school. Really, really close. We'd have sleepovers for a few nights a week, spend all night watching monster movies and eating chips, and... Anyway, Pearland didn't like her. I'd always have to lie and say I was going over to her place to study. When we graduated, it was impossible to see her anymore. There were no more excuses to go study. I was too busy learning the ropes at the mine. Pearland made sure my every waking minute was occupied. I didn't have time for friends. But I never needed friends before meeting Stella, so it was easy enough to slip back into that mindset and try to move on. Why ban her from your property, though? You're acting like Pearland ended it all, but still hasn't stopped trying to be there for you. I don't know. Pearland made me do it. She's not even on the ground yet. I haven't had time to figure out how I feel. Sure you don't want to talk about Wayne? Yeah, sorry. It's a sore spot for me. The man is stalking me, for reals. It's fine. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. I don't need to dig up painful memories to make sure of that. Do you know Sybil well? Everyone in town knows her, but I don't know if anyone actually knows her well. The police are really on my ass. I wouldn't worry about them. Our family is the law around these parts. So you should do your best to stay on my good side. I don't even want to get in with Kanika. What do you think about Oscar? I think he's doing a bad job at raising his kid. Take last night, for instance. She has way too much freedom. What do you expect from someone who had a surprise baby at 19? Plus, I have my own library, not that I have time to read anymore. Why'd you hire Janie? Pearland hired Janie. She was my babysitter before she started cleaning the estate. We don't care about these people. Are you coming ghost hunting with us tonight? Is that actually happening? Stella will be there, but so will Kanika. I doubt she'd be thrilled to see me again, but there's no point arguing with you. If you're going to get up to any more paranormal stuff, I better be there to save your skin if it gets hairy. Count me in. Thanks for taking me out here. Your phone buzzes before Tabitha has a chance to respond. OMG, I overslept. Almost forgot it's Mayor Jimmy Day. Good excuse to head over to the library. We should check in with Oscar and Rosalina. Meet you all there in half an hour. I totally blanked on that, but having a weird foggy morning. Frowny face. Wild that they're still doing the Mayor Jimmy thing even after last night. You think news has spread yet? But yeah, we should go see Oscar. See y'all soon. Someone's popular. Man, I don't even want them to text me. Come on. It's Mayor Jimmy Day? Wow, what a ridiculous event. You know he's a dog, right? Did they fill you in on that little detail? We haven't had a human mayor in Scarlet Hollow since the early 1900s. We've been a dog mayor in town since then. Tabitha takes another sip of her soda, smirking. Everyone knows it's our family that holds the power in this town. Still, sounds like it could be kind of fun. Even I can admit it's funny watching everyone fawning over the little guy in his mayor getup. And if Stella's gonna be there... Yeah, count me in. We can finish our sodas and head over there. I've been sipping that thing. I'm sure it's gone by now. How do I look? It's been a while since I've been out in public like this. Probably better than me. I haven't taken a shower. I'm kind of nervous. What the hell? Out of the corner of your eye, you see a furious woman making a beeline for you and Tabitha. Tabitha, someone's coming. What? Excuse me, Miss Scarlet. Can I help you? What the hell do you think you're doing down here grinning like a buffoon while my Becca is trapped in your mine? What exactly are you doing to try and dig her out? I don't see you lifting any rocks. What? I've got my guys working around the clock to get her out of there. I don't see what me running a couple errands in the morning has to do with... I don't want to hear it. You should be up there right along with them. It's your damn fault she even managed to get in there. Why wasn't the entrance more secure? You were asking for something like that to happen. Whatever happens, I will be pressing charges. Do you want involuntary manslaughter to be one of them? Or do you want to get your ass moving? Your daughter's straight trash, ma'am. Excuse me? My daughter's buried alive, or worse. How dare you use that language to talk about my Becca? What legal grounds do you think you even have? There are signs, the place was boarded up, I did my legal duty, and you don't have a leg to stand on, so don't try to threaten me. I'll find a lawyer who knows how to nail you for everything you're worth. Mark my words. Those are children in there. How can you be concerned with anything but their well-being, you heartless cow? If anything at all has happened to my baby in there, you better be scared as hell for what's going to happen to you and your precious family business. The Scarlets have sat up in their big comfy castle for too long. It's time somebody took you people down for the reckless way you run this place. The woman storms off just as quickly as she'd stormed in. God damn it, she's right. Can't just hang out around the town all day after something like that. It doesn't look right. I should be up there, even if it's just to oversee what's going on. If I'm supposed to run this place, I gotta get my head in the game. I can't slip up like this again. Tabitha's eyes straightening up, her scowl returns. Stay out of trouble. I'll see you at the library tonight. Cousin turns and heads back to her car, leaving you alone on Main Street. I guess we're going to the library. You enter the library alone. It's busier than usual, and a small crowd has formed in the corner of the main foyer. You actually came! I thought you might have missed my text. I was about to try calling. I half expected you to finally skip town. Yeah, the whole gang's here. I've been waiting to introduce Jay to the mayor for like the entire time I've known him. It'll be worth it. Trust us. Alright, shall we? Yep, it's a dog. Judging from the series of portraits lining the wall, Tabitha wasn't pulling your leg. Every mayor of Scarlet Hollow in the living memory has also been a dog. You can tell this dog is the mayor from his little sash and his fancy top hat. There's a regal air about him, almost as if he knows the position of authority he's been elected to. You haven't met this serious man by his side, but you have to assume that he's the mayor's handler. He holds out his paws as if to shake your hand. Mr. Mayor, something terrible is going to happen in this town, and we need your help. The mayor yawns at you, attempt to tell him about the events of the past 2 days. I'm gonna have to ask you to back off with all that supernatural nonsense. The mayor already has enough on his plate without you getting all riled up about monsters in the wood. You're lucky I'm off duty right now. Alright, you've had your turn with the mayor. Now move along, keep the line going. By the way, I know you're up at the mine collapse right now. I may be off duty, but I'd be remiss if I didn't let you know that I've got my eyes on you. All of you. Let's hope the rest of your stay in town is a little less conspicuous. Yeah, alright. Great. I'm glad we can come to an understanding. Jay, Deputy Franklin is a cop, just in case you didn't know. Still and Kanika quickly shuffle out of the room ahead of you, leaving you to follow. Looks like everyone else is already talking to Oscar in the next room. Before you can catch up to your companions, you're intercepted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. Oh, it's the pastor. It's hard to put a finger on it, but something compels you to dislike him. I'm Pastor Daniel, I take it. You're Jay? Everyone's been buzzing about you. I'm so sorry about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. Bro, let's not kid ourselves. We both know Pearl Ann's in hell. Oh, I'm sure she wasn't that bad. Most people are good deep down inside. It's best not to speak ill of the dead. Janie mentioned you this morning. That woman is the light of my life. I'm so glad she's there to help your cousin through this rough patch. Hey brother, you know anything about the ghosts? Ghosts? I've never encountered one myself, but I've heard stories of folks who have been visited by their loved ones from beyond the grave. Seems like it provides them with a sort of spiritual healing. Like their beloved relatives are watching over them, even in death. Is this about Pearl Ann, or perhaps your mother? Have you been visited by her? Bro, I think we need an exorcism. Oscar's in the house, or his house is haunted, and we're investigating it tonight. Oh, like a Scooby-Doo episode or something? I'm afraid I don't buy into that particular notion. It's a bit too spiritualist. Now, if it were a vision of one of his parents trying to contact from heaven, I could understand that. It isn't. But I simply don't believe in malicious spirits lingering neither in heaven nor in hell. No, lingering neither in heaven nor hell. Jumping out of the closet to scare us. I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for whatever it is he saw. Hey, you calling him a liar? A liar? Certainly not. I'm sure Mr. Gutierrez saw something, but I'm just suggesting he may have misinterpreted a sign from beyond. A lot of folks are frightened when presented with such visions. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Yeah, I should go. It was nice meeting you, though. Of course, and if you find yourself in need of counseling or spiritual guidance, you know where to find me. Yeah, that sounds lovely, bro. Might want to talk to you later. I think you're hiding something, so I gotta get in good with you. Really? Oh, that's great. Sorry, I usually don't get positive responses when I ask folks if they want to come up to the church. Anytime that works for you, just swing by. I'm sure I'll be around. It was lovely to meet you, and have a blessed day, Jay. Pastor leaves you to join the line to see the mayor. You know, I kind of don't like how it kind of pushes you to be an asshole to him. It says like he has a bad sense about him, but he didn't really like do anything. But that's why we're gonna try to get in with them. We're gonna go against the grain. Nothing to do now but catch up with your companions. Damn, Zaddy. Find them already talking to Oscar deep into the library. Are you sure we can't just get it over with while the sun is up? I don't know if I can handle getting scared shitless in the dark 2 nights in a row. I wish we could, especially since I'm not particularly excited about going back in there after dark either, but I'm pretty sure it only comes out when the sun goes down. Yeah, there's no way I'm going in until that spirit is at full power. I want to be sure we get the best evidence possible. This could be my one shot to get real proof of ghosts. I'm not going to waste it just because I'm impatient. Y'all are going to be hating the death of me. And you're sure there's nothing we can do for Rosalina right now? I don't think so. She's been locked up in the back room all day. Hasn't been very interested in talking to anyone. I think the best we can do is stick to the plan. Ghost bust the house clean and give her a real bed to sleep in tonight. I just hope it's possible to get rid of this thing. It's a pretty serious ghost, infestation? Is that what you'd call something like this? I believe it's called a haunting, but ghost infestation also sounds good. I suppose we're ghost hunters, so we can call it whatever we want. Anyways, I'll be bringing all the ghost hunting supplies anyone could ever need, so we should be set on preparations. The only thing y'all need to bring is an open mind. Yeah, we're gonna fix this, Oscar. Heck yeah, we will. Yeah, whatever this is, we'll get to the bottom of it tonight. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Well, if we're not doing the hunt now, I guess we should head over to Reese's? Absolutely. Come on, Jay. Time to go bother our friend. I'm gonna get back to it. See y'all tonight. I mean, this doesn't seem like library attire, but, you know, time to go. There's a lay it online. Oh, before I forget, I invited Tabitha to come ghost hunting. You invited her? Even after last night? I mean, if anything, I thought she was actually pretty helpful. Stella, last night was a disaster. For all we know, Tabitha just escalated things. Nika sighs. Alright, it happened. Let's not get into it. If we're lucky, she'll be too busy at the mines to even show. Oh, don't say that, Neeks. If we're lucky, she will show, and the two of you will finally get along. I met Pastor Daniel. It was only a matter of time until he tried to pull you alongside about grief counseling. When my dad died, I had to ban him from the general store for a week. He wouldn't stop leaving these little pamphlets to check out. I don't know where he finds so many. I really don't have any opinions on him yet. Wow, really? I always thought he makes a memorably skin-crawling first impression. Yeah, he has the tendency to stick in people's minds for one reason or another, and they're almost never good reasons. The man was grinning through all of my dad's funeral. As far as I'm concerned, he's a ghoul. And I don't mean that in a stigmatizing mental illness kind of way. There's just this little siren that goes off every time I see him that tells me to get away from him. That's exactly how I would describe it too. They're really pushing that guy away. This whole town feels the same way, and now that I think about it, he must be pretty lonely. He can look for friends somewhere else. I wonder if the pastor's cursed. I felt something odd when he came up to me. The way everyone dislikes him seems excessive, yeah. Unnaturally excessive. I know this is weird coming from me, but not everything in this town has to be spooky for supernatural reasons. Sometimes people just give off bad vibes. Agreed. We're allowed to dislike him even though he hasn't done anything wrong. This is bullshit that we know of. Alright, shall we head out? Pastor Daniel is officially on the do not kill list, just to spite these guys. The three of you leave the library for an early dinner at Reese's. Once again find yourself in front of Reese's house. A cold hesitation grips you as the building looms over the hilltop. Though it's only early afternoon, it feels much later, the sun already sinking behind the tall mountains that surrounded Scarlet Hollow. We're a little early. What if Dr. Kelly yells at us? There's no such thing as early when you're hanging out with friends. That's just extra time you get to spend together. Okay, but what if she yells at us? It's too late. The door swings open. Hey. That is not a voice appropriate for Reese. Reese! Oh my god, dude, it's been ages. You must be Jay, right? I've heard a lot about you. Still has been relentless about making sure I got all the Jay updates. Are they here already? I knew you'd show up early, Stella, and I knew you'd probably want to help me cook too. What can I say? I make an excellent sous chef. The house feels cold. Not only is there an odd chill in the air, but the building itself feels too sterile, uncomfortably tidy to the point where you're nervous to touch anything. If it weren't for the aroma of store-bought dinner rolls baking in the oven and the unsettling artwork hanging on the walls, you'd be half convinced you wandered into a real estate showing. So how can I lend a hand? By sitting down at the table and not putting in my kitchen. I made sure everything was done well in advance, so the only thing left are the dinner rolls, which shouldn't be long. Then we can have a quick dinner and you can leave my house and go on about your business. but I was kind of hoping to get to see Reese's new art. You still have time right now, right? You aren't seriously considering subjecting your friends to a disaster of a room, are you? It's not that bad. You can still see the floor. Dr. Kelly raises a single questioning eyebrow. I don't mind a little mess. Yeah, I doubt it could be any worse than the way I keep my room. Okay, fine. As long as you stay out of the kitchen, I don't care what you get up to. Cool. We'll just be downstairs. You won't even know we're here. You make your way towards the basement stairs. The basement is what you might expect out of a tortured artist who spends all his time confined to a studio. Oh. Discarded canvases line its edges while trash and sketches leak out from the piles in the corners of the room, hiding the bare cement floor. Ghoulish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out of their creator. Okay, Yusuke. Your mom is so scary. She can be a little intense, kind of overprotective, which I guess makes sense. Anyway, make yourself comfortable. You'll have to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately and haven't been cleaning much. So, has Stella told you about everything that's happened the past couple days? Oh, she's told me all about what you guys have been found out there. Wish I could see some of it myself, but, you know. He gestures in futility towards the walls of the basement. You sure you can't just sneak out one of these nights? Doc isn't keeping me prisoner here, Stella. I'm sick. You know that. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to. There's nothing to apologize for, and I appreciate the effort. Really, I do. There's just nothing you can really rescue me from. That die has already been cast. But we were talking about the past couple of days, weren't we? Do you have any thoughts on the ditchlings we've been seeing? Yeah, they've been coming up to my window at night. Wait, really? Is that why you texted me that they look something out of your nightmares? Yeah, I thought I was hallucinating. I hadn't put it together that we might have been seeing the same thing until now. I've been sketching them, actually. Tell me what you think. Pulls out a sketchbook from one of the piles in his room. Okay, that's exactly what I saw on my way home last night. What does that mean that they've been lurking around here, though? I don't know, but I like the company. They're kind of beautiful in a sad way, if you ask me. Looks like you painted one down there. I need to disagree with you there. Those things are going to be stuck in my nightmares until the day I die. You think the town is doomed? I think everything is probably doomed at some point, but I guess that's answering a different question. Do I think the town of Scarlet Hollow is on the brink of collapse? Probably not, but it's not like I have a lot of perspective on what it's like out there. There could be rioting on Main Street, and if Stella or the doc didn't tell me, I just wouldn't know. I would totally tell you if there's a riot. Dr. Kelly tell you, though? I mean, yeah, I'd hope so, but the point I'm trying to make is that other people are my eyes out there. What do you think is going on with Wayne? Who? You know, that guy's been following Jay around and being all ominous? Oh yeah, that slasher creep. I appreciate the classic Jason vibe he has going on. Here's hoping he doesn't live up to the look, for all our sakes. What do you think of my cousin? She was always so distant and mean. I probably would have thought she would have had it out for me, personally, if she wasn't like that towards everyone. Or if I thought she even knew my name. But people change. Maybe she's nicer now. She's still terrible. You guys just never took the chance to get to know her. She's actually really funny and sweet. I'll pass. Thanks. Hey man, what's you sick with? You got diabetes? Jesus, Jay, coming right on with that one. We don't have to talk about your illness, Reese. It's okay. I've come to terms with the way the rest of my life is going to be. You're so macabre, Reese. You make it sound like you've been sentenced to death. Haven't, right? Not exactly. No one really knows what's wrong with me, but it's been getting worse. I can barely keep most of my food down. My skin always itches like there are worms crawling underneath it. I could live for a long time or a short time. No one's sure. But I'm definitely not going to get better. Whatever time I have left is going to be miserable. So, I've done my mourning. My best years are behind me. My future is unknowable. But one day I'll wind up in a pine box just like everyone else, and I'm okay with that. Dang, Reese. I may be a goth, but that's some real nihilistic shit. We'll make sure to come by more often from here on out. Friendship heals all wounds, right? Thanks, guys. But you really shouldn't worry about me. I have my art. I'm doing fine, really. We all join the worms one day. We just gotta make the best of what we got. Jay gets me. This is a cat I can jive with. Stella, maybe it was a mistake to get these two together. Your art. Let's talk about it. Each piece exudes a sickening miasma. It's like you can feel something squirming behind the painting. Brushstrokes acting as steel bars, trapping some anguished being within. I feel the emotions you put into these. They're writhing just behind the paint, radiating pain and anguish. I know what you mean. I feel it too. When I'm working on them, it's like I'm channeling whatever's plaguing me into the paint. And when they're done, I feel like I've been emptied out, and all the vile things inside of me have been sealed away in the canvas. That's why I make so many of them. Sometimes, when I return to a piece, it's almost like I'm offering an invitation for those feelings to slither back under my skin. There are some pieces I can't even look at. I hide them until I forget they exist. I'd rather not let those particular feelings back in. Sounds kind of like therapy? Seems healthy, probably. Yeah, art therapy. Sounds like it does you good. Being empty must be better than being full of bad thoughts, right? I think so. Works for me, at least. Your mom really looks out for you. That's one way to look at it, I guess. It's possible she's gotten a bit of an edge lately. I think my condition has been stressing her out a lot. It used to be something she thought she could fix, but I think she's kind of accepted that it's just something we have to manage. But even if she is a little harsh, she means well. It's like you said, she's just looking out for me. Flirt? She's kind of hot. What are these responses? She's kind of hot. Oh my god. I can see that. Stella, no. Stella, no. Bad Stella. What? Jay's the one who has the hots for Reese's mom. I'm just being supportive. It's healthy to have a range of interests. Okay, let's just move on and pretend that neither of you said anything. I know everybody asked you, but let's just ask again. Hey, you want to come ghost hunting with us tonight? Oh wow, do you think you'd be down for that? We'd love to have you. Yeah, it'd be great to have you along. That would be so amazing, but I haven't had the best luck leaving the house lately. Even just walking into town is enough to put me in bed for a week. It sucks. But make sure you bring your camera, Stella. I want to see everything that happens. It's quite a movie collection you got. Any good Rex? Let me think. Oh, have you heard of Shino-Chi Death Blood? I saw that for the first time recently and it blew me away. Excellent example of both Japanese horror and found footage done right. Maybe we could do a movie night later this week. Is your mom gonna let us? I don't see why she wouldn't. It's just a movie. Oh my god, yes. We haven't had a movie night in years. Sure, you go way back, huh? Almost to the womb. The school here is a tiny K-12. Not exactly a one-room schoolhouse, but not far from it. We're lucky we all got along as much as we did. Some kids weren't able to make any friends their own age. They just happened to be born around the same time as some real jerks, and were stuck with them through their whole school career. Poor kids. Not that we were free from dealing with jerks like a certain Scarlet I could name. Suck. Okay, she was a little rough around the edges, but she was pretty friendly when you got past that. Maybe you. The way she used to look at me, you'd think I'd rolled in something foul every morning before school. Same here, though to be fair, the feeling was more mutual between us. She deserved it, though. Hey, you need somebody to pose for you this week? So kind of you to offer, but if you're okay with hanging out at weird hours, I'd love for you to come by and sit for me. It's been a really long time since I was able to draw anyone but myself, and I'd really appreciate the company. Reese's mom shouts from the kitchen. Dinner's on the table. Guess that's it for catching up. Make sure you all wash your hands, with soap. I don't want anyone sharing their germs at the dinner table. Sure thing, Doc. Silently comply. I'm gonna go wash my hands. Make your way towards the sink, but are stopped in your tracks by the pull of an odd door at the end of the hallway. It feels out of place, like you've accidentally wandered into a different older house. More than that, you feel something radiating out from behind it, something dark and cold. You felt this before, in the dusty tunnels you so narrowly escaped last night. An oppressive hum, like a muted scream heard through layers of rock trying to draw you towards it. You feel lightheaded. You are compelled to approach the door, drawn in as if hypnotized. Something wants you to find it. I mean, I want to open the door, but we have to do this. We have to. Do your best to snap out of it, turning into the bathroom and dutifully washing your hands before joining your companions at the table. Okay. Dinner is already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Kanika anxiously picks at her food, still as nervously. look at Thursdays. Was that a major decision? He obediently swallows them. This is excellent, Dr. Kelly. Is the pasta sauce homemade? No, it's from a jar. I work too many hours to make my own pasta sauce. We have excellent taste and brands, and if you ever want any tips on easy homemade cooked pasta sauces, you know No thanks, Stella. I've had the internet if I need recipes. Thanks again for having us, Dr. Kelly. We really appreciate it. The danger. Has anyone came in suffering from hallucinations? I'm not at liberty to discuss private medical information. Sure, not even a tiny bit? It could help our investigation in the strange going-ons. It's not like you have to name names. Investigation? Into what? The mind collapse? I think it's best left to the professional, Stella, not someone who runs around in the woods with a camcorder. Judging by the police response so far, Dr. Kelly, I don't think it is. I saw some stuff down in the mines last night that I struggle to explain. Maybe if we knew there were any miners suffering from hallucinations, we'd just rule it out as a gas leak, but you're in an abandoned mine. The chances you were huffing something dangerous and hallucinatory are through the roof. Leave it at that, and treat it as the tragic accident it was, not like some kind of mystery to unravel. Have you seen any sick animals lately? I'm a doctor, not a vet. Didn't someone come in with a sick cow last week? Yes, but it's not like I examined the thing. I just told them what I told you and sent them on their way. Said it had lumps. Sure, it had lumps, but I assumed it was suffering from some cow disease. It's not something I've done much research on. I don't know how normal it is for a cow to be covered in lumps. Doesn't that sound like ditchlings? Are no farm animals safe from her devious clutches? Dr. Kelly, in Stella's footage, it looks like there was something pupating inside one of the Duke's chickens. I bet they were the lumps on the cow. You really should have taken a look. You could have made discoveries previously unknown to the scientific world. Or I could have spread some new horrible disease to my chronically ill son. I'll leave these discoveries to someone else. Dr. Kelly's eyes briefly, nervously glanced towards her son before flitting back into a position of annoyance. You can't help but feel like what she saw went beyond compassionate worry to be genuine fear. Well, have there been any strange illnesses spreading around town? What? No. Are you sure you haven't met anyone minors that had unusual symptoms? Anyone who seemed sort of drippy or strangely ominous when they talked? Sorry to pry, just doing my due diligence. Absolutely not. I've barely seen so much as a runny nose, which is a good thing. If you're so concerned about the mind, why don't you just have a J ask Tabitha? I have no interest in violating a HIPAA for your weird little investigation and in nothing. You see any weird creatures scurrying around in the woods? I don't tend to go wandering in the woods, so no. I don't have to go all the way to the woods. They've been coming to our windows at night. They've been what? There are these things called ditchlings. They've been preying on local wildlife, and Jay and I found a whole nest of them the other night when we... Oh, I see. They're some of your little cryptozoological creatures. I know it sounds pretty out there, but I've seen these things in person. They're not messing around. They're out there laying eggs in animals and doing God knows what else. And here I thought you finally managed to get an even head on your shoulders, Kanika. Seems like Stella might be a bad influence on you. I know her little stories can be convincing, but that's only because she managed to so thoroughly convince herself. She's not making up stories. Neither is Kanika, and neither am I. All you have to do is look outside after dark. There have been more every night. They're all pale and doughy, and their faces, they're like sculptures of humans that didn't set right. I see. You stayed up too late painting your grisly faces, so you started to see them everywhere. I'm sure whatever's outside is just raccoons or... Stop! Stop doubting everything I say. Stop trying to rewrite things to tell you to fit what you think should be out there. There's weird shit going down in Scarlet Hollow, whether you want to face it or not. The more you talk, the less you feel like you're having a conversation. The more you feel like you're treading on eggshells. I think those kids are dead. It's possible. We'll see. In the meantime, I'm just stuck here waiting for the call. Here's hoping it doesn't come. I mean, that sounds... I guess it could be good or bad. An anxious silence descends on the dinner table. The tension at the dinner table reaches a breaking point. Alright, that's enough. Dr. Kelly is interrupted by Reese before she can finish her thought. So we were talking about maybe watching a movie sometime this week while Jay is still in town. We'll have to see how you're feeling. I can handle the movie, Doc. Yeah, we'll just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is used to that. I'm sure he'll be okay. You're always overestimating how much you're able to do, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. If I get sick, so what? It's not like that's ever going to change. I'm sick every day. I'm not getting better. I don't want to spend the last few miserable years of my life holed up in a basement alone just because seeing my friends have been deemed to be too strenuous. I'm an adult, for God's sakes. I can't believe I have to ask for permission from my mom just to have friends. Reese stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms. Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can to try and fix. Silence as Dr. Achilles' eyes shoot open. Reese? Reese abruptly pulls himself from the table and leaves. Damn it. I knew it. I knew this would be too much. Everyone, get out of my house. Please, just leave us alone. Stop trying to interfere with his life. All it does is hurt him more. We can't just leave him like this. Now is when he needs his friends the most. No, now is when he needs me the most. I'm his doctor and his mother. I know you care about him. I know that. He knows it too. But all any of you would do is get in the way. So just leave, please. Don't think I don't know something is up here. I don't care what you think. I just want you out so I can take care of my son. Oh, nice try, me. We'll be back, Stella. Or we'll be back, Reese. I hope you feel better soon. That man was like crumpled over in pain. Dr. Kelly shuts the door in your faces. The click of a lock signals the end of your dinner at Reese's. The door to the clinic felt like it had the same pull on me as the carving in the mines. Do you think something's back there? I didn't mention it last night, but when I saw that carving in, it gave me a vision of what happened in the old collapse and the old Scarlets, pinning the blame on Charles Shaw. And there's another one of those things in there. I can feel it. Whoa, really? Do you think it would give you another vision? What if this is related to the ditchlings? You're not suggesting you go poking around in there, are you? Of course I am. Maybe tomorrow. I am not breaking into Dr. Kelly's clinic based on a bad vibe Jay got. Did either of you get the impression that Dr. Kelly is afraid of Reese? I could have sworn I saw genuine fear in her eyes there for a second. Are you sure she wasn't just being overprotective? I'm sure that's all that's going on. She has every right to be. I mean, the poor guy took 2 bites of food and got sick immediately. I can't imagine what it's like for both of them to go through. Vinny wasn't afraid of anyone in the house. Reese is afraid of his mom. I think both of you are reading into things too much. Dr. Kelly is good people. Look, I'm just saying maybe there's more to their dynamic than him just being sick, but it's not like there's much we can do about it right now. We could probably go back and forth on this for a while. Let's just get going. The sun is setting. You wouldn't want to miss a second of ghost action. Stella hurries off down the hill, almost as if to run away from what just happened. You and Kanika follow her down the slowly darkening street. Lit by the orange hues of the setting sun, the library feels different. What was once a quaint building in a small town now stands as an imposing structure, its walls holding something that stares back at you with menace. Maybe Stella is right. Maybe ghosts aren't real, and the rest of tonight is going to be a pleasant break from the events of the past few days. But you know that's not the case. There's something old and powerful in there, and you can feel it stir as the sun sets and daylight fades away. Before you enter, a pair of figures in the nearby bush catch your eye. You can't help but feel with every passing day that ditchlings grow bolder. Just as its exterior was intimidating in the setting sun, the inside of the library is dark, its shadows deep and foreboding. The meet and greet with the mayor ended quite some time ago, and the throngs of visitors took whatever joy was in this place with them as they left. Hey Oscar, are you back yet? Shh, you can't yell in a library. It's against the rules. It's after hours. Rules only apply before 5 p.m. Now it's our domain. Hey, you're here sooner than I expected. Hope dinner went through okay? Whatever. Yeah, it went okay. Reese wasn't feeling up for a longer hangout, unfortunately. Sorry to hear that. It's okay, it just means we have more time to hunt ghosts. I've come fully loaded. Got my EMF reader, temperature gauge, spirit box, infrared camera, UV light, video cameras, salt, flashlights for everybody in case the ghost messes with the electricity, parabolic microphone, Sharpies, and paper for automatic writing, matches, and candles for rituals. Oh, and a Ouija board. I know they're toys, but you never know what might come in handy. Wow, this is a lot of ghost hunting stuff for something that was so last minute. You just have this stuff ready to go in a bug out bag or something? Of course I do. I actually stashed a couple bags here overnight after I got back from the mines. Excuse me? I wasn't about to carry everything around all day. This way we can go on light and pop out to grab more stuff once everything gets spooky. I may never have found any compelling evidence of ghosts, but that's not for lack of trying, and after last night, I'm more than ready to try again. Something back there. I can feel it. Really? This is so exciting. I can't wait to finally see a ghost. Yeah, exciting's a word. See how you feel about that once things get started. No. Yo, don't go. Don't rush off ghost busting without Zane. No way I was gonna forget your promise, Stella. Zane, glad you can make it. I was confronted with my own mortality for the first time yesterday, so I'm desperate for answers about the afterlife to ease my troubled mind. Now let's go mess with some ghosts. Oh, my house is big enough for 5 ghost hunters at once. This is everyone. We can go ahead and... That's everyone. No, it ain't. Wait, what about Tabby? What about her? She's not here. Let's get started. Guess she can catch up once she gets here. Well, if you are itching to get started, it's through the back. Follow me. You and your companions grab some equipment from one of Stella's carefully stashed bug-out bags, and we're heading towards the junction connecting Oscar's house and the library. Looks like the sun is almost set. This is when stuff usually starts to kick off. I haven't been back inside for about a week, so I have no idea what to expect. Hey! There's no way you're doing this without me. Rosalina, we talked about this. No, you talked at me about it. I'm sick of other people making decisions for me. I just want to be able to live in our house again. I'm going in there and sleeping in my room tonight, no matter what. I mean, Zane's coming. Not like it's an adults-only event. It's got a good point, Mr. G. Yeah, but... Come on, Dad. I don't want to be cuddled just because you're scared. You're right. I'm sorry, Rosa. Just let me know if it gets to be too much and you want to leave, okay? Thanks, Dad. Now let's get our house back. You all cross over the threshold and enter Oscar's living room. Family photos line the wall, and stack of books sit comfortably on wooden furniture. And there's that feeling again, like the mines, like the door to the clinic, a dusty, suffocating, dizzying feeling. Something is in this house, though whether it's a ghost or something worse, you cannot know. Okay, looks pretty normal for now. I don't remember that picture being on the floor, but that could just be non-supernatural. None of my equipment is picking up anything around the picture. But I'll set up a camera just in case it falls again. Could be important evidence. You might want to save your cameras for Rosalina's room. That's where I've seen the ghost manifest. It's just down the hall. Oscar and Kanika startle as the door swings open. Seems I made it just in time. Let's get this show on the road. I don't have all night. Tabby! Great, she's here. Wow, Jay, you really brought the whole gang together today. I have every right to be here, Kanika. My family built this place, you know. Yeah, I know. We all know, Jay. What made you think inviting her was a good idea? What? I like her. We're friends. That smug look. Really? Yeah, so what? Like it's weird to be friends with your cousin? Wow, Jay, do you have any idea how hard it is to get these two in the same room? This is amazing. Yeah, amazing. That's a word for it. Sounds like we're in for an interesting night. Wonder if the ghost will even show with this many people around. Wait, is it just me or does it suddenly feel colder? Sure does. I definitely feel that. Temperature gun says it's actually a couple degrees colder, but that's normal. Rooms and hallways are sometimes colder than other parts of the house. Whoa, a genuine cold spot. I gotta snap a pic for posterity. Is that it? This isn't very scary. If the ghost mostly manifests in your room, Rosalina, shouldn't you have seen it? I've only seen the stain. Dad made me switch rooms with him way before we moved out. I wasn't about to let my daughter sleep in a haunted bedroom. I spent most of my nights on the couch before we set up shop in the library. Even if there is something back there, I'm not scared of it. I'm mad at it. Alright, gang. I think we'll cover more ground if we split up and search for clues. Oh, if that's the case, then I call dibs on Tabby. Hell no. Fine, but Jay's coming along too. The three of us can search the least dangerous room, like a bathroom or a closet. No, absolutely not. I think we all know how that would go. Ghost or no, splitting up is always a recipe for disaster. Yeah, you're probably right. If we discover a ghost here, we should all discover it together. That's not exactly the angle I was going for, but okay. Yo, once we find the ghost house, or find the ghost, how are we gonna get rid of it? Like, how does one bust such a thing? Well, my ghost hunting kit has symbols from every major religion, assorted holy books, a bunch of salt, and some jars for ectoplasm. And if worst comes to worst, we can always use the Ouija board to politely ask it to leave. Ouija boards are toys, the only power they have is scaring kids at slumber parties. I think I'd rather not take the chance. One ghost is enough to deal with. I don't much like the thought of opening a door for something worse. Wow, you've never been this superstitious, Dad. The ghost really has you freaked out. Okay. Oscar takes a deep breath before continuing. Let's head to Rosalina's room. Follow me. Whoa. This is where I've seen it. It appears on the top of the stain. Eesh, this has got to be tough to scrub out. Doesn't county own this house? Do they know about the damaged carpet? Have you seen your house? I don't see how that's relevant. Weird, I'm not getting anything. It's not even cold. It's the same temperature as the living room. Nothing on the EMF either. Then your equipment is wrong. The stain is definitely paranormal. I've scrubbed it out too many times to count, and it just keeps coming back. It's just a stain, Dad. Can't we just cover it back up? I don't mind sleeping in here. Let's get scientific about this. If you've scrubbed the stain out a bunch, maybe that's part of the summoning ritual. Never heard of a bleach-activated ghost before. You don't use bleach to clean a carpet, Tabitha. Whatever. How was I supposed to know that? Not everyone gets to learn how to clean things. If you are offering free carpet cleaning, be my guest. The stain is an attempt at an expression. There are no words, no decipherable patterns, but you can still feel it. A cry for help from something that has lost its voice. Something is crying out for help. Huh, you may be onto something, Jay. I wonder if the blood spells something out on the floor underneath. Have you tried tearing up the carpet? House owned by the government? Nope, I'm not messing with their carpets. I'd rather scrub ghost blood out of it every day than have the government take me to court for destroying their property. Don't worry, I'm sure they'll just take you to court for neglect instead. Did it not occur to you that there could be a leaky pipe underneath the floor? I hate to agree with Tabitha on anything, but some kind of structural damage does seem likely. Tearing up the carpet doesn't seem like such a bad idea. One way to be sure. Stella excitedly starts tugging at the corner of the carpet. Oh dear. You're doing the government a favor, really. Stella pulls back the carpet, revealing a hatch, the floor around it stained in reddish brown. There's a broken seal around its edges. Whoever carpeted this over this hatch didn't want anyone going down there. Hey, maybe I don't want to sleep in here. There's a broken seal around its edges. Someone doesn't want us down there. Yeah, but how long ago was it sealed up? Whoever did this has got to be long gone, right? There's no basement in this house. At least we weren't told about a basement. Look at the red stuff coming from underneath. Oh yeah, this is super haunted, alright. You've got a basement full of chock full of ghosts. I can feel it. You know, last month was super rainy. It's clearly been a long time since anyone stepped foot in the basement or crawl space or whatever it is under the hatch. There must be a leak that flooded the whole area under the house. Water dissolved the caulk around the edges and leaked through the carpet, and it's red because North Carolina has red-ass dirt. It's as simple as that. It's not mud, it's blood. Human blood. I tested it. You tested it and it wrong. It can't be blood, right? Kanika's right. You've got a muddy floor, and that's why it's so cold in here. There's wet dirt underneath the house. Congratulations, we solved your ghost problem. No way. There's an old hatch in the floor that someone tried to seal up. We're not leaving until we know what's down there. Miss Stella, this is my room and I need to know what's down there. Have you considered they may have tried sealing it up because it's unsafe? Uh-oh. Do you think the flooding could have made the house unstable? I'm all in on ghost hunting, but I don't know if I could crawl into another dangerous crevice. I'm going for it. Come into Oscar's living room. Can't tell what time it is, and your friends are nowhere in sight. At least, physically. This is Oscar's living room. Spiritually and mentally, you've been ripped away to some other place. The building feels colder, and there's something about the air that feels wrong. It's stale, with an undercurrent of mold and earth. It makes you feel claustrophobic, as though you're in a coffin, each breath depleting what little oxygen is left. How did we end up back here? Where is everyone? Did we pass out again? Was there a gas leak in the basement or something? Is fainting some kind of weird family thing? Is there a genetic condition I need to be worried about? Not that I'm aware of. Nothing like this has happened before you got to town. Who knows what sort of nastiness was festering in that basement? Cousin marches to the front door and opens it. Why does it look like Oscar's house in front of us? Didn't we just leave? Must just be misremembering things. Let's go. No, you're right. There shouldn't be a door there. Clearly, whatever was in that basement is messing with our heads. We just left Oscar's house. The library has to be on the other side of that door. Two of you cross the hallway and open the door. Something isn't right. It feels like a late summer afternoon. The air is warm and wet, and the scent of flowers drift on the breeze. This... Damn, Tabitha, wasn't that cream soda? Tabitha, please tell me I'm not the only one seeing that scratchy shadow in the distance. You're not. What the hell is that thing? Am I having a stroke? Are you having a stroke? Are we both having the same stroke at the same time? You see that creature behind the thorns? It's one of the bad omens Stella and I found in the woods. You. Damn, Tabitha, what was in that cream soda? Excuse me, it was just a normal cream soda, and you had it hours ago. This has nothing to do with me. There's got to be an exit somewhere. We just have to look. Wait, do you hear music? Movement stirs as a figure cloaked in shadows rises to attention. Stella? Who are you? What are you doing on my property? Huh? Eddie. It's Charlie. What? Did you say Eddie? No one's called me that in a long time. It's Edwardine now. I'm not a child anymore. Edwardine? Eddie? You've got to be kidding me. This isn't Stella. This is the lover. What are you talking about? Part of me that lets me know who other people are says that this is the lover. Used to say that this was Stella. What? Pray tell, does the little part of your brain tell you that I am? Funny, it's his favorite cousin in the whole world. Love you, cuz. Har har, very funny. It's kind of a weird conversation to have when this thing's oozing about. Wish I could say the same. You should have stayed gone. And you absolutely shouldn't have shown up here of all places. If you're caught, I don't think you understand what Father might do. Aw, crud, I think I missed a line. Oh, I get it. You two rehearsed this little scene just to freak out your cousin. Cool. You can stop now. I get the picture. I really don't understand what's going on. I'm just gonna keep on. Come with me, Eddie. Haven't you always wanted to see the coast? Now's your chance. We can just leave. I want to say it's called The Presence, though. Is this about what I told you earlier? Please don't tell anyone about stuff I say to you in private. Flash of pain in Stella's eyes tell you that she's keenly aware of everything that's happening right now. She is in agony. I can't. It's not that easy for me. My brothers were sent to Normandy, and now I'm the only Scarlet left besides Father. I have responsibilities, Charlie. Wait, Edwardine, that was like the grandma. Okay, I remember now. Shut up, shut up! Screw your family. Screw my family. Why are we letting the choices made by our fathers destroy our lives too? Tabitha stares at you, speechless. You should just get out of town while you still can. Whatever you came back for, it's not worth it. You're right. What I came back for isn't worth it. But you are. I won't leave the holler without you. If you change your mind, I'll be around. She's gone, along with the shadow in the corner of the room. Come on, we must have taken the wrong door out of the annex. We're getting out of here before anything else happens. Let's just see what happens. We have to go after Stella. Absolutely not. We are not being drawn deeper into this weird garden greenhouse, whatever it is. She yanks your arm, pulling you back the way you came. Where did the annex go? Step forward and open the door. Bells ring as a cacophony rages outside. The doors in front of you pulsate as figures unseen bang against it. The shaded figure from the garden sits in the corner, ever so slightly more defined. Are you kidding me? This is messed up. We need help. God, please let this call go through. Tabitha anxiously taps her foot as she waits for the phone to connect. Hey, it's... What? No, it's Tabitha. Didn't you see the caller ID? Stop interrupting me. Can't you hear what I'm... Cousin is cut off by the dial tone of a disconnected call. Great. She couldn't hear a word I said. Looks like we're on our own. Her father has left town, Charlie. We're moving to a new house, okay? I don't want to leave our house. I like it here. Dad should come back. Why did he leave? Am I going to have to deal with you doing this all night? He can't come back. We've got to live somewhere else now. But that'll be fun, right? There'll be new kids to play with. You can show them your little dolls. Hurry, sweetie. We don't have much time. I see. The collapse. Packing the bags. Charlie returning in the garden. It's coming together. Great. Mystery solved. You can let us go now, Ghost. No, she can't. Come. I never want you to say her name again. Do you hear me? We aren't friends with the Scarlets anymore. Oh god, they're outside. Are those torches? We don't have time, Charlie. We have to go right now. The mother is whisked away, leaving you and Tabitha in the empty room. As she departs, the front door stops pounding and opens into a beckoning white void. We're in hell. We both died and we're in hell. Are we supposed to be Charlie? Is Charlie the ghost? Your guess is as good as mine. Who'd you call on the phone? Friend of the family. Not that it matters, though. The call didn't go through, so we're on our own. Let's put our heads together. What do we know? We know that we can't leave, and we know we're not possessed. At least as far as we can tell. And whatever we saw in this room, at least happened right before the Shaw mine collapse in 1918. I think the only option on the table for us right now is to keep doing what it wants us to do. Maybe it'll stop at some point, or maybe we'll figure out a way to escape. There's so many ditchlings here. Yeah, there are. Those things are horrible. No wonder you're such a mess when you came back on Monday. You're right, only one way to get to the end of this, shall we? Yeah, let's get this over with. You and Tabitha walk up to where the pounding door used to stand and step into the void. You're outside, and it's night. A false moon looming over the massive painted sky. The night feels thick and warm, the insects lively, their calls unnaturally tinny. Everything feels warped and wrong, like you're listening to a record fished from the bottom of a pond. Ugh, what magic words do we have to say to get you to let us go? We're sorry, okay? Whatever our family did to piss you off so much, we're sorry. Oh no. You poor dear. I've been keeping track of you scuttling around town like a tomcat. You've fallen hard for Miss Edwardine, haven't you? Back off, lady. I don't know you, and if you know what's good for you, you don't know me either. Who's this one supposed to be? The nosy neighbor? There's no need to be embarrassed. Your secret is safe with me. You know, I never did approve of what the Scarlets did to your family, and what it did to the two of you young'uns. Childhood sweethearts, just think how lovely it would be if you could just be happy together. That's what you want, isn't it? Looks like there's more to this haunting other than the collapse. I don't think I want to know so much about some fling my grandmother had. This is definitely too much information. And it really has nothing to do with me. Sure, by now you've realized the young lady doesn't plan on leaving with you, but it's not for lack of desire, as you well know. Enoch, even if you dragged her over the town limits, this hold over her would make sure neither of you are ever happy again. Just think of what happened to your poor mother and father. Do you want that to be the two of you? What do you know about Enoch, Tabitha? Great-great-grandfather. He was in charge of the mine when they collapsed. Besides that, I don't actually know much about the man. Isn't it some kind of weird theme with the possessions? Like who's playing what role? Stella was Edwardine. Rosalina seemed to be that guy's mom. And Kanika is some nosy old lady. There's a pattern here, I'm not seeing it. Trying to get into the puzzle, aren't you? What? No, I'm just concerned about getting us out of here. The powers at work here are stronger than ever, than even your love could withstand. You need to break the bonds holding her here, then you can both go free. No more misfortune. Not for you, not for anyone else bold enough to step outside the holler. Witch mime's handing you something, though her hand is empty. Everything you need to know is on that map. I don't understand. Is this a map? Some kind of poem? That's where you'll find them. You need her there. Then read what I've written down, and be careful. Good luck to both of you. I hope you get your happiness. Then she's gone. Tabitha sighs. Okay, let's find a way out. Unless you have any ideas, I don't think there's anything else we can do until we get to the end, or until we die, whichever. Before the two of you can leave, a smell hits you, sweating, suffocated flesh, with a tinge of the saccharine and stomach-churning scent of decay. There you are. I would have found you sooner, but the resident clearly doesn't want me here. It doesn't seem to have the same issue with these miserable little parasites. Bottom feeders always manage to slip through the cracks, don't they? Hey Wayne, you want to figure this out with us? Don't talk to it! Let Jay speak. I'm no enemy. Don't listen to it either. What an unfortunate situation you've been dragged into, Jay. Why can't you do as I ask and stay out of trouble? But that girl won't let you, will she? Stella, is that her name? Perhaps I should pay her a visit soon, if she makes it out of here alive. Tabitha bolts for the underbrush, desperately pulling you along. Stella. So was Wayne connected to the ditchlings? He knew something about them. I don't know anything about that, and I don't care to find out. If that gets you to stop engaging him in conversation, then sure, he's connected to the ditchlings, and he's super evil and bad, and talking to him will curse you. Or whatever it is those things are supposed to do. The two of you step out from the brush and into a long wooden corridor lined by bottles and rails. Figure rises to attention, blocking your way. I'm afraid he doesn't have long left. If there's anything you need to say to him, I'd say it now. The caretaker is swept away. The room pulls itself to you, and you find yourself looming over a deathbed. The father lies in the center, looking pitifully small. Sorry, boy. Sorry I let my troubles drive your mama away. Sorry those troubles mean I'm leaving you all alone now. So Oscar is Charles Sr. Yeah, Charles Shaw Sr. We talked about him in the mines yesterday. Everyone in Scarlet Hollow knows about him. What do you know about Charles Jr.? Much as you do. I didn't even know there was a Charles Jr. until tonight. Besides, Ghost is filling us in on more than enough of his life story. I'm sure we'll both be experts on everything Charles Jr. by the time this is over, if it ever ends. Damn it, Jr., how many times do I have to tell you? I tried to stop it from happening, but that damn snake Enoch went behind my back. Oh, what bullshit. Not for that. What you did to our family. We could have just started over someplace new, but instead you became the son of a bitch that Scarlet's made you out to be. It's not a bad point, actually. You're right. I've been using that excuse for too many years. At a certain point, a man has to accept when he dug his own grave. They may have run me out, but they didn't put me a bottle in my hands. Still. They destroyed our legacy, boy. Both our names are cursed with that history. I'll be dead and gone soon, but I won't be able to rest. Not until our name is cleared. Not until you can pass on this name with pride. I only request, Charlie, go back there. Tell people the truth. Try to find proof. I don't know what you'll have to do, but please. I know I ain't been the best father, but I'm no murderer. See what I can do. Get some sleep. I'll see you in the morning. Damn it, boy, I may not have till the morning. Promise me. Promise you'll go back and at least, very least, show that Enoch bastard what for. Promise. I'll go back. I was sucked into the bed. Watch as the father's body seizes and falls through the sheets, tickling the rattling pile of bottles with him. This ghost is so full of it. You're just gonna jump in, though? Cousin steps forward and disappears through the hole left in the bed, leaving you to follow. You and your cousin find yourselves crouched under a large table. Lover stares through you. Indecipherable murmurs and shuffling feet echo from the ends of the table. I think I'm gonna be sick. They're so lovely. Are you sure I can keep one? You must have worked very hard on them. Of course, it's a present. When you look at it, you can remember all the fun we've had. So now you and Stella are both doing baby voices? Don't expect me to let you live this down if we get out of here. I try to keep it away from my brothers so they don't smash it, though I wish I could make it move like you can. And you can even do the voices. You know, you could probably make real money if you put on a show for people. That's the plan. I want to be a traveling performer. Why don't you come with me? We can go from town to town, putting on shows for other kids. Guess that didn't work out for him. Traveling show? And you want me there too? Oh, we could go to towns along the beach. I've heard the Outer Banks are the most beautiful place in the world. Of course, we can go anywhere you want. Thank you, Charlie. I've always wanted to see the ocean. You can see the tiniest shimmer of tears in Tabitha's eyes. She blinks, and they're gone. There. Are you done now, Charlie? Can we leave? Everything crashes to a thunderous black before you and Tabitha could get in another word. A single spotlight remains, illuminating a trapdoor in the center of the stage. You feel drawn to it. Trapdoor. Are we back in Rosalina's room? It must be. Which one of us is going to open it? Why are you asking that? Are you scared? Of course I'm scared. Okay, I'll do it. Carefully step towards the trapdoor. Creaks open on its own. Oh god, this is so much worse than opening it ourselves. You and Tabitha are shoved from behind and tumble through the hatch. Oh, another symbol. Took some digging, but it's there. The map was right. That means there's hope, Eddie. Whatever it is that Enoch did, we can undo it. We can be happy to get... Eddie? Oh god, I'm so sorry. Cousin violently heaves into the void, but nothing comes up. There's nothing here. This place is completely empty. Whatever it is that Enoch did, we can undo it. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Enoch died nearly 80 years ago. Does it matter what he did? Does it even matter if he framed Charles Shaw at this point? Who's left to be hurt by any of this? What now? Do you repent? Do you repent for your crimes? Their names are back to normal. They must not be in character anymore. Maybe it's getting weaker. You must answer for the crimes committed by your scarlet blood. Maybe it's getting stronger. I hate it here. I hate it here so much. Until you do, I cannot die. I want to die. Please, I've been alone in the dark for so long. All I ask is for some of your years. To pay back the years that were taken from me. What are you saying? My life was stolen from me. I want some of yours. Only fair. No, it is absolutely not fair. You've got to be kidding me. Neither of us had anything to do with what happened to you. Sins of the father. To be laid upon the children. One of you must be forfeit. It doesn't matter which. Bullshit! You can't actually make either of us do anything, can you? I can keep you here, and I can do whatever I want with them. You can refuse, but if you do, then I will stay. I will stay until I get what I'm owed. Tabitha's right. This is bullshit. We're not giving you a goddamn thing. The spirit ignores you and your cousin's protestations. Sentence has been handed down. Make your choice. I hope I didn't come too late. Mom? All of you better get out of here before the spirit regains its composure. This is certainly a strong one, isn't it? Don't worry about the others. They're safe. I got your call, Tabitha, but it was definitely not easy getting down here. Get us out of this pit, Sybil. Tabitha, I don't think it's wise to leave something like this where anyone could stumble across it. Why is that our problem? It wants something, doesn't it? And I think you know which of you should volunteer. You must be joking. You're the eldest cousin. You're the one who actually lived in this town. It's only right. Absolutely not. We should just leave. I'm not giving in to the demands of some dead guy. I'm with Tabitha. Neither of us owe this ghost a goddamn thing. We're leaving. Yeah, you heard it, Jay. Or you heard Jay, Sybil. Neither of us are compromising with this thing. Now, can you get us out of here? Sybil sighs. Tabitha, are you sure you want to leave this business unfinished? Absolutely. This is not our problem. If you think it's the best course of action, yes, I can get you out. It's only a question of seeing through the illusion. We're in a basement, even if all your senses are telling you otherwise. Try closing your eyes and remembering where you are. You do as she says, closing your eyes. Suddenly, the sounds and tactile sensations of the spirit realm feel much more distant, as though you've partially awoken from a terrible dream. Good. Now feel for the stairs. You fumble in the darkness, grasping the air in front of you. Your palms meet wood with a solid thunk. It's the staircase. You can feel it under your hands. I found it! Begin your ascent. Good work, you two. You're doing great. Place a confident foot on the wood floor of what you assume must be Rosalina's room. You open your eyes, seeing what feels like a superposition of the real and the fake. Don't let it trick you again. Its powers are already struggling to maintain their grip on you. You continue. You feel the door frame under your palm and then the sturdy walls of the hallway beyond. We're almost out. I knew it. I knew this ghost wasn't a big deal. It's only faltering now because it's exhausted. Don't underestimate the spirit, Tabitha. You stumbled in the corridor between the annex and library. The real world swims closer and closer to being back in focus. The doors! Come on, Jay, we're almost there. You and Tabitha fall towards the entrance, your legs still unsure of the ground beneath you, and the doors fly open. You're outside. It's real this time. A cool autumn breeze blows piles of dry leaves across the steps of the library. I'm gonna peace out. Back-to-back encounters with my own mortality. I've got a lot to ponder. See you, Rosalina. Zane walks off down the road. Finally, we're out of the funhouse. But the spirit remains. It would have been much better to banish the thing. Spread from the annex to the entire building. Anyone who steps foot in there might be subjugated to its torment. Not my problem. Not Jay's problem. I don't want anyone else in town to have to experience that. That was awful. Board the place up and say there was a gas leak. There, fixed it. I suppose we'll have to find another place for me and Rosalina to stay. This was such a disaster. I'm so sorry I brought you all into that house. I should have left the place to rot. A lot of questions here. But for real, I wasn't about to give up part of my life to make amends for something I didn't do. Neither was I. The thing that the ghost was upset about happened way before we were born. Why should either of us have to pay the price? Excuse me, Tabitha. You've been reaping the rewards of your family's actions your entire life. Reaping the rewards? What are you talking about? The only reward I've reaped is working myself half to death keeping this town afloat. Do you think it's easy to run a coal mine? Do you think it's easy to have to grow up with Pearl Ann as your mother? Was I supposed to make things even harder on myself by making yet another sacrifice? Yes. Easy for you to say. You weren't given a choice tonight. It's okay, Kanika. It's just a house, and we don't even own it. Even if we did, the ghost was asking for quite the down payment. It's more than just a house. It's also the library and the town hall. And even barring that, it's a dangerous space that we're just leaving there because Tabitha didn't have the guts to put other people before herself. Children, there's no use quibbling over the details right now, at least for the time being. The spirit has only grown in strength. If either Jay or Tabitha went in there, I can only imagine its demands of them would be that much steeper. There's no walking this back. Great. Then we all and Principal agree. It's done. Let's move on. Yeah, for real. Get off my cousin's back, Kanika. She doesn't owe anyone anything. To the contrary, I'd say the Scarlets owe a lot of people right now. This town was built on the labor of other people and was apparently built on murder, too. I've never murdered anyone. No, but you inherited the mines and most of the land in town. Let's all take a deep breath. I think everyone is a little high-strung tonight. That was quite the ordeal you all went through. Thanks for having my back, Jay. That was surprising. Any ideas, Tabitha? Cousin grumbles. I don't usually do this kind of thing. The properties we own are for the miners, but there is a house that's vacant right now that might be suitable. You know the old Maxwell place? What? You can't be serious. That place is falling apart. You decided to let Tabitha get away a secret. Look, I'll tell you what, I won't even make you pay rent for the first month. Consider it repayment for not literally giving up my soul to get rid of a ghost that wasn't causing any problems until the two of you lived there. That's funny, I thought your family pissed off that ghost. My cousin furiously pulls out a keyring before picking one off and handing it to Oscar. Thank you, this really means a lot to me and Rosalina. Now, if all you don't mind, I'm going to go home. I think I've had enough social interaction for a lifetime tonight. Finish up whatever you have to do here. I'll wait by the car. Tabitha doesn't wait for you to respond, pushing past you and heading towards the car. I think that ghosts are really mean. I mean, I know we don't have any hard evidence on us, but we vividly experienced the same thing. Stella's got to be over the moon right now. Where is Stella? I think she'd be excited, really rattling off theories by now. Oh, she's just standing there, by herself. That doesn't like her. Stella, are you okay? What? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. See you guys later. She hurries off down the road. You remain silent. Should we go after her? I think she just needs some time to herself. Stella's never been the kind to share her burdens, and I doubt that'll change just because someone goes chasing after her. If anything, it just make her clam up even more. She's a strong girl. She'll be okay. I'm honestly surprised she and Jane are the only ones heading out right now. You've all been through something awful, and each and every one of you needs rest. Especially you, Kanika. We don't want that cold of yours to get any worse. God, what a disaster this whole night has been. I had no idea it would turn out like this. I'm so sorry, everyone. Stop apologizing, Dad. We're the ones that don't have a house anymore. We don't even have the library now. There was another carving in there. I wonder if those things are tied to everything supernatural that's been happening. Yeah, I wonder. One is a coincidence, but two of them back-to-back nights? And if you're right, there's another one in the clinic. So sorry, I'm a little lost. Have you been finding carvings around town? Sure, everyone here could stand around theorizing about this and that all night long. There'll be plenty of time for that tomorrow. I ran into Wayne in one of those rooms, and he vaguely threatened Stella if I kept poking around. Wait, are you serious? Should we be worried about her? I don't know. I think he's harmless. He had plenty of opportunities to hurt me in there, but he didn't even touch me. He's never touched you yet. It's hard to find that reassuring. Did he say anything else to you? You don't need to trouble Jay for any details. No one pay any mind to that man. He's just a drifter. He'll be gone soon enough. In the meantime, steer clear and he won't make trouble. Are you all conscious the whole time? Everyone glances at each other. Yeah. Pretty sure we remember everything. At least up until Sybil showed up and snapped us out of it. Do any of you know who you were supposed to be? No idea. There was no context. Nothing. But there was a weird feeling, like an overwhelming guilt. I was mostly just scared. I didn't feel any of those things. I don't know how to describe it. It felt powerful. I guess I should head back. I should probably get going. It's starting to get chilly out. I don't know how long it'll take to get things ready in a new place. I'll be over later tonight with some bedding and hot tea. I'll have Miles bring you groceries in the morning. Don't be a stranger. Let us know if you need anything, okay? Thank you. That really means a lot. I believe it's time for me to get my daughter home as well. What? Kanika, dear, you haven't been feeling well. You need to get some rest. Okay. Kanika wearily treks back to the general store. Before I go, Sybil places a hand on your arm, holding you back for a moment. I'm sure you have questions after everything you saw tonight, but let's not get into it here. I think everyone could use a little rest and relaxation right now, yourself included. If you swing by the tea room sometime tomorrow, say early afternoon, you and I can have a little chat. I'll see you then, Jay. Sybil leaves you and catches up to her daughter. Can't help but overhear snippets of their conversation as they leave. My whole body hurts, Mom. What was that? And I want a better answer than a ghost. It was a spirit, dear. I've never been a fan of the word ghosts. You'll be alright. Let me get you some of that special tea. It's been working well, don't you think? I think ibuprofen would be better, but I gotta admit, the tea has been nice. I'll put a kettle on as soon as we get home. Time to wrap things up here. For our favorite drive home. The ride back is nearly silent as you and Tabitha reflect on the night's events and your decision to leave the haunting intact. I'm glad we're both still in one piece. Me too. It's like Sybil said, it's done and there's nothing we can do about it other than move on. You slide back into silence and the car makes its way back to the estate. You're back inside. After the events of this evening, the howling winds and unsteady creaks of the estate almost feel like a warm welcome. Well, we're back. I want to talk about Wayne. Really talk. Your cousin sighs. What do you want to know? Did you kill him? He's obviously not dead, so no. So thanks for accusing me of murder. Love that. So Wayne's a he now? Back in the ghost realm, he was an it. Does it really matter? I was scared in there, and right now I'm so exhausted I can barely think straight. Who cares if Wayne is a he or an it anyway? Either way, he's bad news, and you best steer clear. You really don't want me talking to him. What does he know that you're afraid I'll find out? I just know him. Please trust me when I say he's bad news. Do you think he's actually going to hurt Stella? No, he's a creep, but I don't think he has it in him to hurt her. And I don't know if you've noticed, but Stella's irritatingly resourceful. She'll be fine. But why is he following me? He's a creep, stalking his ex's cousin. Ah, all the more reason not to talk to him. He's a different man now. Stay away from him. Why is he all gross? He's sick or something. Probably part of why he's such a creepy weirdo now. I don't know if it's contagious, but I wouldn't rule it out, so don't go near him. How'd you know to call Sybil? Who else should I have called? The cops? I believe you've seen their competence on full display. Besides, I'm sure you heard that old woman talk. If anyone in this town would have known to deal with a ghost, it'd be her, right? I don't know about you, but I feel pretty traumatized right now. That's great. Now you're really a Scarlet. Let this be a lesson to you, Jay. Yeah, whatever. Alright, I think it's time for me to turn in. It's a good idea. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Don't keep poking around looking for trouble. Just have to make it to the funeral. 4 more days, that's all. And then the bus comes. You know, I don't have to leave the holler. I could get used to this place. That's good to hear. It would be nice, not being the only Scarlet left. Anyway, night. See you tomorrow. Time to go to bed. You don't even notice yourself entering the guest room and falling into bed. Suddenly you're just there, buried under your family's musty covers. It's Wednesday night. Nearly half a week has passed since you first arrived in town, and a little over half a week remains until the bus comes to take you home. The spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. now commands the entirety of City Hall, a swirling void of wrath and despair that the people of this town will have to learn to ignore. Disaster looms, its tallest yet, over Scarlet Hollow. Well, seems like we're intent on going scorched earth on everything that isn't the family, right? I really hate that Kanika, feels like we're benefiting from this. Seems like maybe if she knew how bad Tabitha didn't like doing what she's doing, she probably would still be an asshole about it, so... Episode 4 awaits. If you'd like to say before continuing, please do so now. Yeah, that'll tie it up for now. Surprised no one died, but I'm sure that'll come soon. They're just homeless now.